Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Parminder Singh, and you guys are live on the show of Deep Talks with Parminder. Now, today we have a very special guest by the name of Adam Ford. Who is he, you might wonder? Well, he is 18 years old, and he goes to high school which is located in Mississauga, and it's called John Fraser Secondary School. So you may be wondering, what is his purpose for being here today? What is he going to be teaching all of you millennials about? Well, his purpose is simple. He's going to educate all of you on the simple topic of revenge. But more specifically, is revenge justifiable in certain situations, or should revenge always be looked down upon? Now, let's not waste any more time, and please put your hands together for our guest, Adam Ford. Oh my God, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Parminder, thank you so much for having me on your show today. No worries, Adam. It is an honor to have you on the show today. But these young people, all the viewers, they need your guidance. And that is exactly what you're here to do. Now, my friend, have a seat. Now, Adam, before we start, why don't you let the audience know and the millions of people watching the show what you are doing here today? Gladly. I have come to realize that our generation is one of the worst in terms of forgiving and moving on. Instead, they would rather take the darker path and pursue revenge as their course of action. Many people believe it is the right path and it evens out the scales, and only some people believe that they should learn to forgive and forget. That's very interesting. Though, what is your stance on all of this? Well, my answer is quite clear. I believe that revenge is not, I repeat, not justifiable, as it will never truly motivate peace between the two parties involved. Now that seems like a very straightforward and compelling answer. Well, Parminder, it may seem very interesting what I have to say, though by the end of this interview, hopefully you will agree with what I have to say. Now, let me start off with a story that holds a lot of meaning to me, and it directly relates with the topic that we are here to discuss today. Now, this happened to me a few months ago, and I was still in grade 12 like I am now. So, one weekend, I was invited to a party, and one of my closest friends was hosting it. I knew everyone at the party, of course, as we all went to the same school, and we're all really close friends. It was a really fun party. We played video games, watched sports, had a FIFA tournament, which is a video game. We ate a lot of food, and we did a lot of other things as well. Though, it all came crashing down. One of my friends and I were playing a video game, and during the game, we kept talking trash to each other. He said a few hurtful things, I said a few hurtful things, and it kept going back and forth. At one point, it got so out of control that my friend got up and came at me and started punching me. He actually started throwing punches at me. He was going out of control, and I had never seen him that angry before. Though, the funny thing is that his punches didn't hurt me at all. They felt like little tickles that were just coming at me. I think it was because of the heat of the moment that I couldn't really feel the punches. So the thing is, I decided not to fight back, and rather I was just defending myself and I was blocking his punches. My other friends pulled him back and told him to calm down. Though I was really pissed. I was so angry because one of my closest friends decided to punch me over a video game. The thing is, I was so furious because of his actions. It totally ruined the momentum of the party. It became awkward after that, and most of the people decided to leave after a few minutes after that whole incident went down. The person I got into the fight with, though, we stopped talking, and our friendship went on a good hold for a good week. He wasn't talking to me, and I wasn't talking to him. Wow! What happened afterwards? So, later that week, I received a message from him. Rather, it was a whole paragraph of him apologizing for his actions, and he was saying how he should have resolved the matter with his words and not his hands. And even after that, he said, to make it fair, I would get to punch him as hard as I wanted on his face in order to get even so we could move on. Though, being the bigger person that I am, I told him, no. I did not want to take revenge because deep down in my heart, I knew that punching him would even lead to more problems. I wanted to move on and never revisit the event again. I told him that I will forgive him, and I said, let's move on. No need for more fighting. I decided to forgive and forget and not seek revenge. This truly brought peace between both of us, and to this day, we are still really good friends. What an amazing story, ladies and gentlemen. What an amazing story. Now, we also have to examine this from a moral point of view and a moral perspective. So what would society want us to do about this? Now let's take this back 100 and thousands of years ago. Have you ever heard of the belief, eye for an eye? Yes, of course. That used to be one of the most famous beliefs. It's when the accused faces the exact same punishment that was brought upon the victim in order to even out the scales. Correct. Though, having the same punishment done to the criminal, does that make you any different than the criminal himself? Certainly not. You have to act like the bigger person and tell higher authorities to deal with the matter or forgive and move on. If it is a really small crime, then you should learn to forgive, but if it is a major act and really big, you should let a higher authority know, like your parents, for example, or your teacher if the incident occurred at school. Very interesting. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to move on to our next segment, which is question and answers. So Mr. Ford will be answering questions that are directly asked from the audience. So question number 1 comes from James Snow, who lives in California and is currently attending high school. So his question is, can you better elaborate your point by using a specific example that many people know about? That's a very interesting question. Now let me give an example from one of the biggest Marvel movies out there, Black Panther, which hopefully James Snow has watched, which will better help him understand my point. So in the movie, Eric Killmonger, who was portrayed as the main villain, finally made his way into Wakanda, and he had challenged T'Challa, who was the Black Panther, to a fight. The winner would retrieve the throne by doing a battle, which was Wakanda ritual, and the winner of the battle would get to rule over Wakanda and be king. So the reason Eric came to Wakanda to win over the throne was because his dad was murdered by T'Challa's dad. This is also because he was a traitor, but Eric was not able to cope with that reasoning. So he plotted this huge revenge plan, and in order to get to Wakanda, he killed so many innocent people throughout his journey. At the end, Black Panther was able to kill him in order to save the society. This shows that his revenge plan did not bring justice to anyone, but instead just harmed innocent individuals. If Eric were to realize the truth about what had happened and found it deep in his heart to forgive, then he would still be alive and there would be no movie to film. Wow, I never really looked at that in such depth, but your point helps me understand this perfectly well. Once again, you can examine this from a moral perspective. Morally, it might make sense for Eric to have gotten revenge for his father's death, though his pathway for that would not have been justified. He killed so many innocent people in order to get there, and that clearly goes against the moral code of society. Also, if he did get his revenge, he would still have this blank feeling deep inside him that he would not be able to cope with. Very true, very true. Now, let's move on to our second question. Now, the second one comes from a Barney Stinson who is enrolled in high school and lives in Toronto. His question is, isn't getting revenge just another form of justice? I would like to see you answer this one. Well, there is a high chance that your emotions cloud your judgment when you are seeking revenge. Sometimes the matter is so severe that your revenge is no longer in the name of justice, but rather it's for personal reassurance. You may start to become selfish and you won't care who pays for the crime as long as someone pays for it. In other words, your revenge is not done in the name of the law, but instead it's done for your personal closure. To better help you understand this, you can examine it through a psychoanalytical approach. This method is all about the mental process of the mind. For revenge, people are driven by their emotions, which could result in someone being hurt or harmed. You should only take actions when you are not ruled by your emotions. Wow, such a compelling answer. Hopefully Barney and the rest of the viewers understand now. Anything else you would like to add on? Yeah, I just want to say that forgiveness is the much better option and is the more honorable thing to do. In today's society, forgiveness isn't very practical, and the first response nowadays is usually, I want to teach that fool a lesson. You should have faith in humanity and do what is humane, and either tell a higher authority if the matter is really serious, or forgive and forget. Never bring yourself as low as the person who wronged you, because that makes you no different than him. You know what, you're right. I also have something to say about this. So, my mom once told me that taking is good, but giving is always better. This can much relate to this scenario. Taking revenge as compared to giving forgiveness is a huge difference. I guess we have learned today that forgiveness is the much better option as compared to taking revenge, because revenge truly never will be justifiable. Well, ladies and gentlemen, That's all we have time for today. What a great night. But before we go, let's give our guest Adam Ford a huge round of applause. Hopefully, all of you guys learned something because I surely learned a lot. Now, make sure to view again tomorrow because tomorrow we will be interviewing Justin Bieber. Now, guys, have a great night.